Hey, what's up everybody? It's Coresby84 and I'm going to show you the step-by-step process of getting the new Masterman Easter egg dog skin for the M1917 LMG. So the idea is that you need to get onto a server of Albion Conquest. It's better to get on one that's official DICE, but I'm not sure if the Renta server ones count, but to be on the safe side, just make sure that you get it on an official DICE server. So what I've done up to this point is I've solved the puzzle and I'm ready to collect my reward in the top of the lighthouse here. But I figured before I do that, why don't I just walk you through exactly what I did to show you the step-by-steps with just an explanation, not necessarily an interaction, so that if you are watching this, you can kind of follow me as well. I think the most difficult part of this entire thing is getting the Morse code solved, and then after that everything's just kind of like plug and chug in terms of just activating, interacting with certain things. So once you join into a server, you're going to probably be spawned into the water side, so make sure you take a boat, and I've just given you a reference point. There's going to be three main locations that we're going to be at today. At the end, you're going to be near or around the lighthouse or inside the lighthouse, but the first thing we need to do to start everything off is, as you can see in the distance down there, there's a large tall radio tower near the D point, so we are going to make our way there. That's where all the interaction takes place in the beginning of this. So again, you can spawn in and take a boat, or you can fly if you'd like. It really doesn't matter. I guess some people have been saying to keep a support class going so you can reload your grenade if you wanted to take out some of the debris that's in the way initially, but I think it doesn't much matter because you can shoot some of the boxes that are in the way in the first place. Alright. So again, you probably are just going to take a boat, but you can get off here, you can get off on the other side, and make your way up to the top of this little encampment here with a large radio tower. Alright, so once you are here, you're going to notice something a little different, is that in this area right by the base of this tall radio tower here, there's going to be a lot of boxes that are destructible. So my advice would be to shoot all the boxes or throw a grenade at them, and they will be destroyed, and then eventually they'll just despawn out, leaving behind these crates. So the key to the first part, or step one, is you need to interact with all 9 crates. So as you can see, there's 2 on the ground here, and the way to interact with them is you will go up to them and you'll be prompted with an interact icon, as you can see here. I'm not going to interact with them now just because I've already done this and waiting to collect my skin at the end, so therefore I'm just going to show you that this is the way you interact with them, with sort of the panel on the front with the 2 kind of metal studs in them. So as you can see, there's 2 in here, so that and you can do these in any order. I generally start with these 2 here. So this, I'll say this is 1 and the bottom is 2. You can do 3 and then 4, and then come around to this side, 5, 6, 7. So make sure you click once and interact with them. And then the last 2 are here is 8. So get down prone, interact at 8, and then 9 is here. So each one facing this little door here, on each of the 9 boxes will give you the interact symbol. I'm on Xbox here, so it gives me that X interact icon. Alright, so you've clicked 9 times on all 9 boxes, and then you are going to be asked to go to a house with a couple blue doors on it. The reason for that is that's step 2. So you're going to make your way down here to this little valley where there's some houses. There's actually 3 to be exact. So make your way down here. And the first one here, I've already opened the door, but the first one here on the right, as you can see, there's a blue door over here, and then there's a blue door here. Now, when you come in here, initially, I've already destroyed it, but there'll be a cabinet that is blocking this little switch down here. So if you get a nice little close look at the switch, as you can see, it has the phantom dog tag or a dog symbol above it, and then a switch that we will be accustomed to at the end of this. So you'll see switches like this as well. So once you've destroyed that cabinet, you need to then come up to this switch here, and then again, you're going to get an interact prompt symbol, and then you're going to click it one time. So that's step 2, is to switch this, just hit X, and you'll hear a click, and then you're done. All right, then you're going to make your way back. I'll just do it for purposes of this tutorial, if you're following along sometime here in the future. So you'll make your way back to the exact same 9 boxes that we started off with, and this will be step 3. So step 3 is to, again, interact with all 9 boxes just like you did in step 1. So you can start here again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Again, each one will still show you the interact button available. So again, click each box once and interact with each one for a total of 9. Once you're done with that, that concludes step 3. Step 4 makes you go back down to the house. And you are going to interact with the switch with the skull above it one more time. But instead of clicking it once, you're going to click it 4 times. So the trick with this is that you're going to click it, take a pause, click again, take a pause, click again, take a pause, click again, take a pause. So you need to do this 4 times. So 4 times will activate the Morse code back at the top of the radio tower. If you've not done it correctly, the Morse code should not interact, or you might get the wrong kind of code. I don't know, I haven't tested it that much, but for all intents and purposes, the 4th step here is to click this switch 4 times with a slight pause in between, and that will activate the Morse code. So for step 5, we need to again work our way back to the radio tower location, and at this juncture, if everything is going to plan, instead of hearing nothing around the base of the radio tower, you will hear Morse code. Alright, so once you get to the base here, you will hear our lovely Morse code. So now if you followed along with the first 2 Phantom runs where in part 1 with the bronze dog tag beginning, you needed to do the Morse code on a bunch of maps, so you probably become familiar with it. This one, I think it can be a little trickier. There's a lot of ambient noise around here. If you have someone else in the server running around making a lot of noise, my advice is to crank up your volume on your Xbox. Crank up your volume. For me, in this recording, I'm using OBS on my PC, so I'm streaming this through my Windows 10 app to allow me to use OBS so I can record this. If not, you can use your Xbox recording software to be able to sort of record a clip. I think 30 seconds or less is quite enough time, because this part here, part 5, you only need about a 10-second clip or less to get the information you need. So this Morse code is unique to each Conquest server that you go into. So once you're in a server, the code is unique to this server. If you were to collect this specific order of letters, leave the server, try to come back, it won't work. So make sure that you're going to do this all in one swipe, and that you do not leave the server under any circumstances. Otherwise, you'll have to start back from step 1 and do this all over again. So what I will show you right now is I'm going to briefly back out of this stream, and I'm just going to show you a Word document of how you convert your OBS video audio file into just a straight MP3 audio file using the VLC media player. That's what I used. And then I'll give you the text demonstration of it. You can walk step by step, and then I will show you really briefly what it should look like in Audacity, and then we can move forward from there. So what we will do here is we will use a VLC media player. So this is our lovely VLC media player. I'll just make it as a full screen. What you'll need to do is you'll need to find wherever you're recording your OBS video to, whatever file you're recording it to, you'll need to locate that file, so whatever drive you're holding it in. So for all intents and purposes, I just put this back onto my desktop. So we're going to go to media up at the top here, And I, at the same time, will show you my text file. Let's see here. Sorry, that's right. Oh, where is it? Oh. Oh, here we go. Here's the text file. So I'll overlay the VLC and the text file here. So what you'll need to do is I've just written out quick instructions for you to use your VLC media player, which is a free download on the internet, and in conjunction with your video file, which would be located, let's just say, here. So I've done this already. I've extracted my video clip of my Morse code for about 30 or 40 seconds, and then you're going to convert it into another audio MP3 file. So you can click on media at the top here, come down to stream. You're going to have, this is going to be blank. You're going to add your video player, your video. You're going to hit OK, open, and then you're going to click on the arrow here where it says stream. So down here it'll say stream. Sorry, I'll move this over a little bit. You're going to hit stream, and then you're going to be asked to click next. And then again, you can, my camera's in the way, but right behind here is an add button. You're going to click add, and then you're going to click browse, and you're going to basically write down the name of your file. But remember, make sure, so it could be Morse. But the last thing that needs to happen is you need to put .mp3. It needs to be in the MP3 format. So then you're going to click on save, and then I'm just going to put it to my desktop, and you're going to click next. And then on this part here, you're going to want to go on this, there's a little drop down menu here. As you can see here, there's a little drop down menu. You're going to drop down and find audio MP3. And once you click on audio MP3, you'll click next, and then click stream at the bottom. And once you do that, it'll convert your file as it's converting now to a straight MP3 file, and that should go on your desktop if you've selected it to go there after you saved it. All right, so that's your VLC media player conversion there. So we have an audio file now. So then what we can do is we can open Audacity. And so I've already gone ahead and opened up my Audacity, and I've just completed sort of my analysis of what the code is. So if you're paying attention, you need to have, it's going to be a 5-letter code, and it could be a letter anywhere from A to F, and you can have a repeating code. You can have a repeating letter. So it could be, you know, A, B, C, D, E. It could be A, B, B, C, C, D. It's a 5-letter code that's unique to your specific conquest level, and it's going to be unique to you in just this instance. So you need to then take your MP3 file. You can take file. You're gonna go to open. You'll find your file on your desktop. You'll open it up. Once you do that, you'll click your little arrow here, and then you'll drop down. And initially your basically your wave, your MP3 file will be in a waveform. You're gonna want to click it to spectrogram, and then you're gonna drop down the menu again, and you're gonna change it from, I think it's in stereo, and you'll click it, so like you'll split it stereo into mono. So once you've done that, it'll split your track into 2. And then once you do that, you'll take the top track and you'll highlight it, and you'll keep the bottom one unhighlighted. Highlight the entire track at the top, go to Effect, click Normalize, and then it should come out to something that looks like this. So what you'll see here is you might have to do this multiple times to get the best result. But again, if you have it high on audio as high as you possibly can, you'll sort of cut out some of that background noise and get crisp audio cues, and you should be able to see the Morse code. So what I've done, I have a little piece of paper that I've written here, but as you can see in the bottom, I just manually wrote out A, B, C, D, E, and F in terms of like what the Morse code is. So dot dash is A, dash dot 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 is B, dash dot is C, and then dash dot is D, dot is E, dot dash dot is F. So you can write that down, look it up on Google, whatever. Then you're going to look at your audio tracks. You can zoom in, you can look at the entire thing. My advice would be to find out where there's a big gap, because that would indicate that it's going to repeat and start over. So if you can find a big nice gap, that will be the end of your code, and then the start of the repeat of the next code. So if you look very carefully, you have two indications here. You can compare your top spectrograph to the bottom, but as you'll notice, there's like kind of like these pink little boxes that exist down on this, probably about around 1000K here, and they line up really nicely with these spikes in audio, and you can kind of see the lines matching up as well. And there's some red down here, but I wouldn't go. It can be used as well. Maybe if it's sort of the dashes and dots are a little unclear, you can kind of use them in conjunction to sort of cipher this out. So what I'll say here is that you have your first. So after this break, this is the start of your code. So as you can see here, we have just these two lines. So it's just a dot. So that we just have a little short little rectangle here, and that indicates a dot. So if that's just a dot, then we can go and we have this nice big space where there's nothing here. So this is sort of an isolation. So with accuracy, we can probably say, based on our Morse code, we can say that this is probably E. So that's where I started off with. I said, okay, after the gap, this one looks like E. Let's see if we'll just, keep it as E and see we'll move forward. Okay, and then the next letter we can see a nice little line here. So this is probably our dash. And then it gets a little tricky. So we have what looks like a dot. And if you go down here to the red, it's a dot. And then there's a little gap here. So there's a little tiny gap. So I'm going to call this a dot. And then we have a nice, again, there's like this nice rectangle, long rectangle here and here. So we can call probably that a dash. And then again, another dot. So if you have dash dot, that corresponds to C. So for my example, we have E and then C. And then we go to the next one. So we have a dash, a dot, and a dot. So we have this dash, dot, and that is D. So we have E, C, D. And then if we go to the next one, it starts off with a dash, a dot, and a dot. So we have another D. So we have two Ds. So we have E, C, D, D. And then the last one here is it looks like a dot. So there's a square here, like a little rectangle here. So a dot, another dot, matches up here. A dash, so we have dot, dash, and then another dot. So that's F. So dot, dash, dot is F. So we have E, C, D, D, F. And then to know that the sequence is repeating itself, if you look over here, we have our E again. And then it goes to C. So that's how we know we've completed it, and it's just repeating itself. So from 11.5 seconds to about 14.5 seconds. So about within 4 seconds or 3 seconds, this has been completed. So that's why you don't need to record more than 30. It's too much. You can just record more to see it repeating itself. And I guarantee you, if you let it go past 20 seconds, somewhere you should get a nice gap where you can designate that's where the start of this sequence will go. So for my example, I thought, okay, based on this analysis, it's E, C, D, D, F is my 5. So why do you need these 5 letters? I'll explain in the next step. So let's go back to the battlefield. All right, so we're back in, and so we've got our letters, and after we've got our letters, then we need to go to our housing structures next to the lighthouse. So I'm doing this all in real time. Hopefully I don't fuck this up. So I thought, well, I'll just get the dog tag and then show the last 30 seconds like I did before. But when I went up to interact, it gave me the interact kit symbol. So I thought, oh sweet, I've done this. This is gonna work. Let's go back and just do a tutorial, because it could help somebody else. I mean, obviously Jack Frags and Westy and all these other big YouTubers have, better editing and things like that, but they haven't necessarily walked through the entire time in real time to allow you to get this done. So this is just a regular Twitch affiliate, doing his thing. I tried to do this earlier in my stream, and the servers crashed, so now I'm back a little later at night, in the wee hours doing this. Alright, so that was step 5, is to get the Morse code letters. Step 6 is to, you have to knock out 6 lanterns that will illuminate once you've completed step 4. So you need to knock out 6 lanterns, and the reason for doing that is I'll explain in step 7. So step 6 is knock out the lanterns. So as you can see, I've already entered this building, and right here you will see a light. So there's like, there might be glass still on the floor, I don't know, it's all disappeared, but there'll be a lantern that's illuminated. All you need to do is melee it or shoot it, but I just melee it. So melee it to break it. So there's one here, so that's number 1, and then you're gonna come down here for number 2. So come into the house here, and again, right to the right on the wall right here, be number 2 lantern, break it. Number 3 will be on the outside, on the right-hand side of this door. You won't need to go inside. There are a bunch of lights inside here, but they're not the right lantern. The lantern has a unique shape to it, so just like first one in the second house. First house and second house, so again, knock the lantern down. That's number 3. Number 4 should be over here. Again, come inside the house. Lantern on the right, knock it out. The same thing, knock it out here. I think when I did it, that was number 6, but for all intents and purposes, we'll just go back to the beginning, and that could be our number 6. So this could be number 6 here. So 6 again will be in the inside of the door, knock the lantern out. Alright, once you've done that, and all the lanterns are knocked out, your last step will be to go inside the lighthouse, and I will show you inside the lighthouse. So I know if you look at Jack Fragg's video, he's nicely designated all the different points with an overlay. All I'm going to do is verbally tell you what letters are represented with each of these lanterns. So it goes from the top, the top switch is A, and then all the way down to F. So at the bottom floor is F. So there is a light here and a switch, and the switch, as you can see, if you get close to it, it might be not interactable anymore, because I think I have to pop it. Anyways, this will be interactable, I think, because I've already done this. They're not interacting anymore. But if you put your cursor in the middle of it, your iron sights, you know, or your gun, stick it right in the middle, you'll get to interact. So this is F. So that's F. And then as we go up in the alphabet, we're going to go to E. And then this is D. Up the stairs, this is C. Up the ladder for the tricky one, which will be right behind you when you come up the ladder, and you have to move forward a little bit, but this is B. So if you get close to it, you're going to interact, that's B. And then finally up the stairs here, you're going to get A. So this is the top one A, the bottom one is F. Now, if you have a piece of paper, write this down in order of the letters. So the community figured out what you need to complete this. So the first 5 letters are the same for everyone, and it's C, A, E, E, B, meaning that you have to hit the switch on C, the C switch, the A switch, which I'm already at now, E, E, and then B. Okay, so write that down, C, A, E, E, B. That's the same for everyone. So again, the highest point in the lighthouse is represented by letter A, and the bottom one at the entrance is F, and it goes in alphabetical order from top down. So this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, this is E, and that is F. Now, after you enter those first 5 letters, then the next 5 letters in the sequence are the letters that you found with the Morse code at the base of the radio tower. So for my example, we found that was the next 5 letters of the sequence are E, C, D, D, F. So it's going to be different for you. It's going to be different if you're watching this video and trying to figure it out. But again, find the 5 letters from the Morse code. That will be the 5th through 10th letters of this sequence. So for again, the first 5 letters are the same, C, A, E, E, B. Then your unique 5 letters, fill those in. And what I mean by complete the letters is that you have to hit interact with the letter and light switch that are corresponding. So if I needed to switch F, I would come down to the bottom and hit F at that corresponding part of the sequence. Then the last letters are 8 of them. It's F, E, A, A, D, D, A, D. I'll say that one more time. So it's F, E, A, D, D, A, D. So those are the last 8, and those are the same for everyone. So really you just have the missing 5 letters of the sequence, the first 5, and the last 8 are basically the same for every person trying to do this. The only ones that are different are the 5 that are from step 5. So the tedious part is going to each switch corresponding to each letter in the sequence and clicking interact. And once you've done that and you've clicked on the last D, then you have to head up to the top. And for everyone watching, this is my, hopefully this works, otherwise I'm just going to scrap this video. But I went up here to make sure that I could interact with this lighthouse light, and that should give us the sort of the spooky interaction that we've gotten if you followed along with the first 2 dog tags to indicate we have gotten our skin for the M1917. Alright, so when you come to the top of the lighthouse, you'll see that there's this light protruding, this secondary light protruding out here. So, oh no, there's no interact button. Oh shit, what happened? Anyways, I'll do this on my own, but again, you're going to hit this button here, and it should interact, and you're going to get your dog tag. Alright, sounds good? Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.